So the last time we created an addition table, but now let's create a multiplication table. So let's create a complete multiplication table. We're going to use Z5 again here for Z5. So we're going to do product now. It's going to be the symbol that we use, and the table is going to look similar. Write the elements of Z5 across the top, 0, the congruence classes 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and write them across the side, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to start by multiplying instead of adding. So for example, in this first spot, you would take that row and that column, and you're going to multiply. Equivalence class of 0 times 0. You combine them together, and you get 0. So in that first spot, I'm going to put a 0. Congruence class of 0. Okay, and then we're going to go down the first column. So if I take 1, I'm going to take the equivalence class 1 times 0, you're going to get 0. 2 times 0, you get 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0, give you 0. Okay. All right, so we're going to move to the next column. Okay, and again, you're going to multiply. So take 0 times 1, and you get 0. And then you're going to move along down the column. So 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 1, 2. 3 times 1, 3. And then 4 times 1 is 4. Okay. So now that we've got that column done, you're going to move over to the next column. So let's look at 2. 0 times 2 is 0. 1 times 2 would be 2. 2 times 2 would be 4. And now let's look at the next one. So it would be 3 times 2. If I look at 3 times 2, that would be 6. But again, you need to reduce that down. So what's the remainder of 6 when I divide by 5? It would be 1. So that's what goes here. And then for the last one, you're going to take 4 times the equivalence class of 2. So 4 times 2 would be 8. Again, you need to reduce that down. What's my remainder when I divide 8 by 5? You get a remainder of 3. So we finished the column for 2. So let's move to the column for 3. So if I take 0 times 3, I get 0. 1 times 3, you're going to get 3. 2 times 3 will give you 6, which we said was 1. And now let's look at 3 times 3. 3 times 3. That gives us the equivalence class of 9. What's the remainder when I divide by 5? It's 4. So this will be a 4. And then you're going to take 4 times the equivalence class of 3. That would be 4 times 3 is 12. What's my remainder when I divide 12 by 5? The remainder would be 2. And then we need to fill in the final column, and we'll be done with our multiplication table. So here, 0 times 4 would be 0. 1 times 4 would be 4. 2 times 4 is 8, which we said the equivalence class of 8 was the same thing as 3. 3 times 4 is 12, which we said 12 is the same thing as 2. And then finally, if I look at that last one, I have 4 times 4. That is 16. The remainder when I divide by 5 would be 1. So now this would be my multiplication table for Z5. So assuming that you're okay with this, you should practice this again on your own. So here's a practice problem. Create a complete multiplication table for Z6. And again, that would be in your textbook in section 2.2.